Good morning, afternoon, and evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Week 2 reviews of CFL action. And what an interesting week. Some stuff went exactly as expected, some stuff was a little exacerbated, and some stuff, well, it's just a little bit of everything now, isn't it? So we're going to get right into it. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already, and leave your comments down below on what you thought of the game. So we're going to get into our first game, which was BC versus Calgary. All right, what a game by the Lions. Wow, what a game. And BC will take this game 15-9 over Calgary. What a surprise there. I really had Calgary winning this game. Now, there's two circumstances that mainly, well, screwed up that prediction. So one of them is not my fault. And that one is I thought Riley was injured and they were going to sit him a week and then bring him in week 3. He was healthy, so they played him, or at least healthy enough. They played him, and he looked good. He looked good. And Burnham especially looked good for the receivers. I thought that Whitehead played good as well, but it was one of those things where just kind of gets caught up in the mix there, at least at this point in time. But Bo Levi Mitchell, what's happening? I thought he would have a bounce back game because he's getting, I think, he's got a big contract there, and he threw 4 picks. Calgary hasn't been 0-2 in a long time. If Calgary can't figure it out and win this next game, they're in some serious trouble because they need to decide what direction they want to go as a team, because Bo Levi Mitchell has to get going. Like, this is not sustainable. If he's not working, it just doesn't work. If you need to have, your starting quarterback good enough to lead you to anything, because in these first 2 games he hasn't been able to do much. And yeah, that's pretty much it for that game. So our next game was Toronto versus Winnipeg. Bombers win again, 20-7 over the Argonauts. Now, I will say this. We were leading 10-0 after the first half. Now, I did hope that we'd get a little bit of a bigger lead, but I was happy that it wasn't just a touchdown and it had a field goal tacked on top, just so that way it's not just a one-score game, which is reassuring. But Toronto wasn't bad at all, honestly. Toronto had good stints on offense against the best defense in the league, really, and all things considered. And their defense did actually give us a little bit of trouble. Now, it was nothing that the Bombers weren't able to power through with, the offensive power that they have. But I don't think Toronto should be disappointed about how this game went out. I mean, obviously, it's a bummer, like, our field goal, we hit the upright. That's fine, it happens occasionally. It was a strong game for Lawler and Bailey. And I thought that Toronto, honestly, I thought they played quite well. And I think that against some other teams that they'll have some strong games. I think they'll be able to beat teams like Hamilton. I think them versus Montreal would be a great game. I think they have the abilities to beat a team like Calgary and BC and Ottawa. And they already beat Ottawa. But they played well. Or no, they didn't. They beat Calgary. Stupid me. But yeah, so Winnipeg wins this one, and that'll bring us into our next game, Montreal versus Edmonton. Holy crap. Montreal is on fire. Like I said, it was very hard to predict this game because I wasn't sure what kind of team we were going to get because we haven't seen them in so long. So there's no momentum that they could have, it's not like, oh yeah, the Bombers can go off their last season momentum. As much as they kind of got back to status quo, it's hard to say that when there's 2 years in between. But wow, Montreal looked fantastic, to the point where I'd say that if they keep this up, now they've only played 1 game, so do not get ahead of ourselves. But they could seriously make a run in the Eastern Conference for a Grey Cup. Honestly, I see this Montreal team beating Hamilton. I think this Montreal team, as of right now, looks like the strongest team in the East. They really do. And they really exposed the problems that Edmonton was having. Trevor Harris, he just didn't look good. He had the same thing that Levi Mitchell had. He couldn't figure it out. He couldn't figure out how to throw the ball. They never got anything going. They had Edmonton had a weak offense this game, and and the thing I feel like probably is most annoying for Edmonton fans is not that they don't have the pieces, is that they do. They just don't work together all the time. Honestly, if I was an Edmonton fan, this would be really frustrating to watch, just seeing talent get kind of wasted. And I honestly hope that Edmonton does better than this, because I'm not someone who there's only one team I truly hate in the CFL, but I would like to see them play a bit better going into their next game, which I'll be previewing, of course. But that brings us really to our next game. Well, actually, I don't even think I said the score. Montreal won 30-13. Pretty strong score. But anyways, like I was saying, that brings us to our next game. Hamilton versus Saskatchewan. The Roughriders look good. They look damn good. And it hates me to say that. As a guy who hates the Roughriders viciously, they looked really good. And they exposed the problems that Hamilton has been having. With them just, Brandon Banks struggled, He fumbled the ball. He missed a few catches. One that went off his hands and then got picked up by Saskatchewan. And it's one of those... It's a rule of thumb for receivers where if you can't catch the ball, you can touch it, you can touch it, but you can't catch the ball, you hit it downwards. So that way it doesn't pop up and then it becomes an interception and a turnover. So I don't know what he was thinking there, but Banks and Mazzoli just are not connecting. There's obviously there's a miscommunication going on there, because I don't know. I mean, last season, Hamilton looked like this dominant force to be reckoned with these two, in absolute perfect sync with each other. They made some absolute magic, and they were a powerhouse to the point where they almost won the damn Grey Cup. But, man, the Roughriders look good. Fajardo and the whole team, everyone. The offense is clicking, the defense is clicking. I cannot wait to play them on Labor Day and in the Banjo Bowl, because that's going to be one hell of a game and probably some of the best football that we're going to get this season. And I'm not going to lie, I was surprised that Hamilton did not put up a bigger fight against Saskatchewan with a 30-8 win over Hamilton. I really expected a bit more, but let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Check out my Twitter. Well, I sometimes post about the CFL there. That's also where you can find when our new content drops. I'll dig it out my Twitter. And then also follow us on Instagram, and feel free to join a Discord with me, Hot Garbage Sports, and Peg City Hockey. There's a CFL chat in there where I always interact with people and talk some CFL. So you guys have a great rest of your day, and goodbye.